Welcome back to another Sunday reading vlog where I just kind of wrap up what I've been reading this week, my thoughts on things, little reviews, etc. So my plan for these vlogs was to have like a really cozy chat where I literally just roll out of bed in the morning, still have my PJs on and make my breakfast, have my tea or coffee, and just film this vlog and have it be like a nice cozy book chat. But being in quarantine, my sleep schedule is so messed up right now that I'm going to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't wake up until noon. I'm still lying in bed at 2. So that's what happened today. And then I had to go to the laundromat before they closed. So that's why I'm filming this vlog at like 5:30 in the evening. So my bad. But you know, that's life. What can you do? Not a big deal. So anyways, for this week, I have a couple books to talk about. I think during my vlog from last week, I was like in the middle of The Winter Duke by Eliza Bartlett, which is currently holding up my phone to film this, so I can't show you the book. So I finished that one. I did do a review for that in my March wrap-up, which I'll link down below if you want to see like a full, not full, but like a better review than what I'm going to say here. But since I've already talked about that in a different video, I'm not going to go over it again. So just a quick overview. It was good. I liked it. It had some issues, but overall it was a really well-told story for the most part. So I am glad that I read it, even though it wasn't like amazing, but like that world building though. Oh, so good. So after that, I read Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which was my prompt for Defense Against the Dark Arts for the Owls Readathon, which was to read a book set at sea or on the coast. So I finished that one, I think yesterday. It was good. Again, you know, another like middle of the road, kind of like a 3.5 stars, you know. I did initially give it like a 3.5 rounded up to 4 on Goodreads, but then I was talking to my friend about it and I was like, you know what, actually this is more like a 3.5 rounded down to a 3. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just like wasn't really what I hoped it would be, you know. Whenever I hear people talk about it, they always say that it's this like beautiful like romance story, and there wasn't that much romance in it. So I was expecting, you know, to like cry and to like have this like really cute romance, but also this like heartbreaking like war story and like how the relationship was different after the war or during the war. And it wasn't, I mean, like that was there, but not nearly as much as I thought it was gonna be. Like the romance was really a secondary plot line, I found. Most of the story seemed to be about Achilles trying to find his glory and trying to become this famous fighter that he was meant to be and that he was promised he would be since birth. And I really didn't like Achilles as a character. I'm not really sure if the reader was supposed to like him near the end, but I definitely didn't. I thought that he was really childish and just throwing temper tantrums. He was a really shitty person as well. Like he made some questionable choices. If you've read it, you know what I mean. Like the whole thing with their friend. I'm not going to go into detail because of spoilers. Before that choice, I already kind of disliked him because of how he was behaving. But like after that, I was like, no. Achilles is on my shit list. I don't like him. He's a bad person in my opinion. And, you know, I get like they'd been at war for 10 years. That changes a person. He also like his pride got to his head a lot, and his like need to be famous and the best of the Greeks and all that. So like, you know, it's understandable that his personality changed during the war. It would have been weird for it to have not have, but I didn't like where he went, and he ended up being like a really just a bad person and very, very childish, like literally just throwing temper tantrums, except his temper tantrums led to the death of so many people. And I'm like, buddy, calm down. Like, anyways, yeah, I really just didn't like him. I liked the story in general. I loved how it ended. Like the narration style for the last couple of chapters. Again, if you've read it, you know what I mean. Loved that. I thought it was really unique. Overall, like the writing style was wonderful. It was like this beautifully written story. I loved Patroclus. I thought he was a really interesting character. I loved his character arc and like watching him grow and become more confident in himself, especially him going through the war and like his role in that. I thought that was really well done. I loved him as a character, and I loved their friend. I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm sorry. Brises, whatever, something like that. She was great too, especially again near the ending, where she got like insanely mad at Achilles for reasons that I won't say because of spoilers, but again, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Loved that scene. That was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole book. It was just her screaming. I'm like, fuck yeah, you go. Like, overall, it was good. I can see why people like it so much, but it just wasn't what I was expecting it to be, and it's not what I was hoping it would be. So it didn't get as high of a rating as I thought that it would. You know, I thought it would be like a 5-star read or at least a 4-star read. So I finished that one yesterday morning or afternoon. Whenever I woke up, I just laid in bed and read it for like an hour and finished it up. So then last night I started reading The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. This one is a high fantasy. It is adult fantasy as well, which I'm like trying to get more into. I mostly read YA fantasy, but lately I've been wanting to read some adult fantasy and have like a bit more like mature themes in it. I don't want grimdark. That's too much for me. But I've been wanting like a more serious tone than what YA usually does lately, so I'm trying out that. So far, loving it. It's freaking cool. The world is awesome. Like, I'm like having so much fun kind of exploring what this world is, and like I haven't quite figured out how it works yet. I mean, they have gates that you go through, like when you want to travel to a different city, you go through a gate which seems like it's a portal, so I think it's portal fantasy actually, which unexpected, but like if you've been watching my videos, you know that I've talked about portal fantasy at least twice in every single video pretty much. So I'm excited for this. I think it's really cool. There's also a really cool thing with this book is that, let me just pull it up. So it has this map, and the map is like handwritten, you know, and it's like has all these pins with string that show where they're going, and I'm like, it's really cool. And then it has also, it has a list of like all the characters involved and like from which city or which world they were in, and also a pronunciation guide as well. So with the map having like the handwriting on it and then having the character guide and the pronunciation guide, it feels like this is like a journal of the main character, and she's like tracking where they're going and like everyone she meets along the way. So it feels like it's more of a like adventurer's journal, which is really cool, and I'm loving that so far. And so the main character is an orc, I think. Pretty sure she's an orc. So she was born for the purpose of becoming the chosen bride, which means that like from the day she was born, she is known that on her 14th birthday, she will climb the staircase of her temple and sacrifice herself to the god called the Unspoken One. So that's been her destiny for her whole life. She was cool with it. She was afraid, of course, but she was, you know, honored to have that. And being the chosen bride is like a huge honor. So she was excited, kind of. It's a weird word choice, but you know what I mean. But then when she goes to actually sacrifice herself, this wizard who had been hanging out in the temple for a couple of weeks, he appears and he's like, hey, so if you don't actually want to die, you can just like come with me and we'll just hang out. And she's like, is that allowed? And he's like, maybe, find out. And she's like, all right, and just goes with him. So where I am, I'm only on page like 60 something, 65, and where I am, it's been I think 3 years since then. There was like some big time skips there, but she's now I think 16 or 17, and like she's been like learning languages. She's like seen a city for the first time, and she's been living there for a couple of years with him, learning like the different languages from all the worlds, and learning how to fight with swords, with knives, with her fists. Pretty cool stuff. And just like learning how to be her own person, because growing up in the temple, knowing that she was going to die, she was never really given the chance to have these opportunities. Like she'd never left the temple grounds before. She'd never really lived, and so she's doing that for the first time, and like everything is just brand new to her, and it's really fun seeing that from her eyes, because like she didn't expect to be alive for all of this or to ever see any of this. So she has a really deep appreciation for everything around her, and like she's just watching everything as if it's like the most incredibly magical thing in the entire world, and it's really fun, and I'm having a great time with it. I'm hoping to get to at least page like 150 or so tonight, maybe a bit more if I can. That'd be rad. But yeah, it's really good so far. I imagine that I'll have it done before my next vlog for next week, but so far fucking awesome. Also, it's a debut novel. Didn't realize that. Also a queer author, so hell yeah, love that. Just based off of what I've read so far of it, I will definitely be keeping this author on my radar for future releases because like I am loving this so far. It's awesome. Oh, and last thing is that this was my prompt for whichever prompt it was where you read a book featuring witches or wizards. That's for this one, for the owls. And then my last book to talk about is Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. That's the third book in the Murderbot Diaries series. That one I just started on a whim. I'm reading that one on audiobook, so while I was folding my laundry, I was like, I'll just put that in. So I'm not very far into that one. I only listened to it for maybe a half an hour or so while I was doing laundry. But so far so good, you know. Love it. It has that same hilarious charm that the other two have had. I absolutely adore this series. Again, I cannot stop gushing about it. It's just so much fun. I'll probably have that done either tonight if I don't pick up the Unspoken Name again tonight, or I'll have it done tomorrow most likely. This was my prompt for Potions, I think, which was a book under 150 pages, so it's very short. The audiobook is like 3.5 hours at full speed, I think. So at double speed, it's like an hour and a half. So I will be done this super fast, but it's hilarious. I love it. Our lovely murder bot is just once again annoyed by every human that he encounters, and it's just a delight and like a really big mood. So having a great time with that. So I think that's about it for this vlog. I don't have anything else to really update you guys with. So I will leave that there, and I hope you're all having a lovely day wherever you are, and we're all staying safe, staying inside, hopefully not going absolutely insane while stuck inside. But if you are, that's okay too. I also am. I am losing my goddamn mind, but it's fine. We'll get through it eventually, right? We'll be okay. So have a good day, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!